years. I think the first customer contacted me when I was working for Francois at around 2001. So, and we did all sorts of work on it, and he had bought it, and then, you know, had the engine redone, and then did all sorts of different things on the car, and then eventually had it painted, and then the interior. Once you get it painted, then you said, might as well get the interior done. So this car has really been, you know, upgraded through the years. And then a customer, then when the first customer decided it was time to sell, he asked me to help him, and I sold it to one of my customers, and it happened again. So I've actually known this car through 3 owners. So it's been kind of neat that you know, I've known this car longer than any of the owners, and it's kind of become an old friend. It comes back to me over the winter, and the new owner, he sent it to me just to do a little bit of tweaking and, you know, oil change, tune-up, kind of things like that, just checking things over. It's always something going on, and he always figures, since I know the car, he sent it back to me. So I just did the shocks on this car, put Coney's back in. The old shocks were kind of these, I don't know, off-brand shocks that somebody had welded ends to and put in, and, you know, they were needed to be replaced. So we managed to find a set of Coney's and put them in, and the car feels great. I mean, it feels so much tighter. I mean, I think the old shocks were leaking and worn out, so they really weren't doing much there anyway. But with these new shocks, they feel a lot better. I did a couple other things on this car. I did the you know, the rear lenses on the license plate lights were burned or melted. It turns out that I found out that the bulb holders were in backwards, so they were actually too close to the lenses, and that's probably why they melted. So just looking at things and why it did it, and why were they melted, I looked a little closer, and that's what I found. So I turned those around, and that should be a little bit better. I'm hearing this little bit of popping and spitting. I might just give the carburetors just a quick check, make sure they're running okay. It is a little cold today, so you know, I don't want to make too big changes on the carburation, because I think as he drives it in warm weather, it'll be fine. But that little pop and spit is a lean issue. Not a lean issue, but a lean pop and spit. But a lot of times, as it warms up, the weather gets warmer, it'll do a lot less of that. So sometimes, you know, tweaking and messing around at different weather temperatures, especially if it's not going to be driven until it's warmer, could just be a waste of time. This car ran great in the summertime, and I think it'll run fine again in the summertime. So sometimes spending the time trying to fix that stuff is not worth the time. And this car is going to go back to Chicago, where the owner is, and get it ready for a good season of driving. So it'll be a nice to send it home to him. If you remember, this GT was the one that we took out to drive up in Vermont a couple summers ago, and it was just a great introductory drive to my customer, and he really enjoyed it. So he's been really enjoying it, and I've been too. So it's kind of fun to have this car go home